What's going on, guys, and welcome back to The Edge, where we help high performers drop stubborn belly fat, build strength and muscle, and reignite their energy and drive no matter how busy life is. I'm Owen Keeley, performance coach, international athlete and national record holder. I've helped hundreds of high performers rebuild their bodies, energy and focus, all by installing proven, time efficient and decision light systems through the Everyday Stronger method. This is where we break down those systems, share the principles behind them, and help you take back control of your body and your life. Let's get into it. All right, so today we're going to be talking about something that every high performer struggles with: how to actually stay on track when you travel without being miserable, without trying to be perfect, and without completely falling off. Because the reality is that whether you are traveling for work, a wedding, going home for the weekend, whatever it is, it's not realistic to do everything perfectly. And the mistake most people make is that they try to do exactly this. And honestly, the fastest way to derail yourself on the trip is to go in with that all or nothing mindset. So today I am going to be giving you a simple travel proof plan that covers sleep, training, nutrition, hydration, and how to actually enjoy the trip while still keeping the wheels turning. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what to focus on, what to ignore, which is arguably the most important thing, and how to come home feeling good, not like you need to start over again. The golden rule for traveling is simple. We want to be aiming for a 7 out of 10 and not a 10 out of 10. So you're not chasing perfection while you're away. You're just trying to keep your baseline steady so that you can slot right back into your routine and your structure when you come home. Think of it as maintenance mode instead of progression mode while you are away. So to kick things off with our sleep, this is the most important part because this honestly dictates everything else: your mood, your hunger, your energy, your focus, cravings. When traveling, the biggest issue is time zones. So here's the simple rule I teach clients. If the time difference is under 3 hours, just stick to your normal schedule. Same sleep times and same meal times. If the trip is under 3 days in a different time zone, still stay on your home schedule. It's not worth flipping anything for such a short trip. So this means same bedtime, same wake time in your home time zone, and same meal timings, everything the same. If you're away, say between 3 to 7 days in a different time zone, we want to think about shifting gradually. So about 1 hour per day. Don't panic if you feel off the first 24 hours. That's completely normal. If you're away, just stick with it, give it a little bit of time. And we want to think about shifting towards the new time zone until halfway through the trip. So if, for example, I was away for 7 days for 1 week, the first 3 days I'd be shifting my sleep schedule by 1 hour towards the new one. On the fourth day, I would then stick with that current schedule, which would be 3 hours closer to the desired time zone, and I would stick on that for the remaining 4 days before I get home on day 8 and I start shifting back into my normal schedule. If you're away for longer than 7 days, we want to think about fully committing to the new time zone. So with this, again, a gradual shift is best. This is what all the literature says. There are some people, myself, previous clients as well, have tried before to basically just go all in and to just try and swap straight to that new time zone. This can work sometimes. It's not advisable, but if you do want to do it this way, it can be possible. Whether you do it or not, there are a few key principles we want to keep in mind to help you get into this new time zone a little bit quicker. And the first one is going to be sunlight exposure. So morning sunlight becomes your best friend here. Even 5 to 10 minutes outside within the first 15 minutes of waking can make a huge difference to help setting that circadian rhythm a little bit quicker. Apart from this, meal timings, you want to swap your meal timings to basically suit the new schedule that you're aiming towards. And trying to get in that first meal actually quite close to when you wake up is going to help to anchor that wake time a little bit more quickly. The other thing that we have is movement. So an easy way of doing this is that within that first 5 to 10 minutes outside, if you're actually walking during that time, you're getting in movement and you're getting in sunlight exposure. If you then get home and say had a meal, you're getting in your food, which is further helping to anchor that wake time. And then if you're to train early in the morning as well, it's another step you're taking to improve the quality of your sleep and to get you on that new time zone more quickly. A few tools that I would recommend you bring with you while you are away. Number one is going to be earplugs. These are just very beneficial to have if you're in a noisier area. Even if you're not meant to be in a noisier area, I would still recommend bringing them because sometimes the accommodation is not what it's made out to be. Second is going to be an eye mask. You don't know what the quality of the blinds are like in the hotel, especially if you're used to blackout blinds and then you go to a place where they don't have them. An eye mask can be incredibly useful. And again, it's just a nice one to have that doesn't take up much space and doesn't cost a ton of money either. Apart from this, your supplements, so your typical sleep supplements that you do take, so for example, your magnesium, your glycine, bring these with you for sure. They're going to be a nice one for either just keeping you on track with your current schedule or helping you to shift into a new one. And we want to avoid eating in what would normally be our home sleep window if we are staying on our current schedule. This is a really important point because this will completely throw off our circadian rhythm and the quality of our sleep. Other key areas, alcohol and caffeine. These are things that tend to be consumed when people travel. If you are having alcohol, try and cut it to at least 3 hours out from your bedtime. This will help to negate the negative effects that it's going to have on your sleep. And with caffeine, try and cut it by mid-afternoon. So again, about 8 hours before bedtime is going to be best. With these, we want to think about just overall keeping it simple and keeping rhythm where you can. Okay, next up we're on to our training, and this is all about just keeping the wheels turning while we are away. Training on the road is not about hitting PBs, it's just about keeping your body moving so you don't feel stiff, sluggish, and you just maintain while you're away. So the rule here is that something is always better than nothing. If there is a gym, but it's limited on equipment, think of getting in a full body session, a 20 to 30 minute full body session. For current clients in the Everyday Stronger method, we do have workouts up that will actually suit this environment where you can make do with, as simple as just a set of dumbbells. I would really recommend having something like this in your back pocket so that if there is a gym there in the hotel, but it's not a good quality gym, we're able to get some movement in and we're able to do, again, just enough to maintain during this time. If there is no gym, we want to think about utilizing body weight circuits here. So these can be done in your hotel room. And again, they're not going to transform things from a strength or hypertrophy perspective, but they are going to give you a good stimulus, a good stress response on your body, and they are going to help you to maintain while you're away. Apart from this, we do want to make sure that we're getting movement in throughout the day. So if it is a work trip and we're incredibly busy, trying to tack a little bit of movement along with our meals is an easy way to fit that in. So for example, I have lunch and then straight away, as soon as I put the fork down, I head out for a quick 10 to 15 minute walk. And doing this with each meal can be incredibly useful just for keeping you moving and keeping your body where it needs to be. And then onto our nutrition. And with this is another one that we want to think about keeping it really simple here. And it is where most people fall apart. So travel equals eating out more. A lot of the time, random meal times, convenience foods, snacking, reactive eating, not proactive. And what we want to think about here is basically trying to stick to some sort of a structure. So aim to keep your same 3 meals a day and have a hard rule of 1 snack maximum. I cannot stress this enough. This is where a lot of people tend to go off the rails, is having tons of snacks, skipping meals, and ultimately it will result in you taking in a lot more highly processed, pro-inflammatory, low quality foods and low protein intake. So keep to a 1 snack maximum hard rule. It's really going to help you to stay on track, and then try and stay on track with your typical 3 meals a day. For protein sources here, we want to be going for leaner proteins while we are eating out. So going for things like grilled, baked, roasted, these sorts of words are what we want to be aiming for on a menu. Leaner sources would include things like chicken breast, leaner cuts of steak, so fillet or sirloin instead of, say, ribeye, or white fish. Things like cod can be incredibly useful here. The thing to note with restaurants is they tend to have a lot of hidden calories in the meals. And what we mean by hidden calories is with the methods of cooking, they tend to use a lot of oils, butters, sauces, things like this that will take up calories very, very quickly, and you mightn't be aware are in the food. So sticking to leaner cuts of protein just helps to offset this a little bit. With our carbs then, we want to choose, say, boiled, steamed, or baked instead of fried things. So say, for example, we want to be going for rice, boiled rice, potatoes, baked potatoes, instead of things like, say, fries or mash or that type of thing. And with our veg, we want to get this in where we can to keep some fiber in there, to keep some micronutrients in there as well. I wouldn't stress too much about it if we're only away for a couple of days, but again, trying to aim for, say, boiled, steamed, or baked instead of fried, sauteed, these sorts of things where they tend to have a lot of sauces, butters, oils added to them. With sauces then in general, we do want to get them on the side. Sauces can take up the calories really quickly as well. With some meals, the sauces alone can be 300 plus calories. So do make sure that we're getting getting them on the side. We can still have some, but just reduce the portion down. And for tracking, we do want to try and track while we're away as well. This is just another thing that's going to help our self-awareness of what we're actually eating. It's going to help us to plan proactively as well. So say, for example, I am going out this evening, I'm going out to a steakhouse. I can actually look up that restaurant's menu. I can see what they have. I can add it into my nutrition tracker before I go. And it's going to mean that I'm going to know exactly what I'm going to have when I get there. I'm going to be less tempted by the other options, by desserts, by things like that in the menu. And I'm going to be more likely to just stay on track. And finally, with protein powder, it is advisable to bring protein powder with you. To save space, you can pop this in a Ziploc bag, double up or triple up on the Ziploc bags as well, just in case one does open while you are traveling. And bring enough for having one shake a day. And this is incredibly useful for getting in extra protein. The likelihood is with restaurant meals, they're going to be lower on protein than what you actually need. So adding in even one shake during the day with 2 scoops of protein is going to be an easy extra 50 grams of protein that you're getting in daily just to cover your needs. When it comes to hydration, this is another one that's underrated, but it has a huge effect. So it is one of the biggest reasons that people feel terrible when they travel. And it's something that most people don't even realize that they is dehydrated. So an easy way of fixing this is to just buy a big bottle of water when you do arrive and just bring it with you wherever you go. It's as simple as that. Aim to sip it throughout the day, but this one habit alone will help to fix energy dips, cravings, and mood throughout the day. And then I just wanted to touch quickly on the actual accommodation that you're staying in. So if you haven't booked a place already, I would really suggest that you choose an Airbnb or a part hotel over a hotel. Not so you can cook every meal, but so you have a fridge and so you have the option to cook some of your meals. Again, the meals that you cook are meals that you will typically have during the day. You're going to be more likely to get more protein in, better quality food in, and just overall less processing into your diet, which is going to result in you feeling a hell of a lot better and staying on track more when you travel. If we do have the luxury of being able to stay in an Airbnb or a hotel, a simple strategy to help you while you're traveling is to have basically 2 meals at home and then 1 meal out. With these 2 meals at home, try and keep them mainly protein based. So be getting in a ton of protein with, say, your breakfast and lunch. And then this will allow you to go into dinner not having to worry about your protein intake. Once you get a moderate portion of protein in with dinner, you're going to be good. Your bases are going to be covered. And as well as this, if you keep your calorie intake for your first 2 meals on the lower side and keep them more protein based, it kind of gives you this calorie buffer to work with. When we go out to have dinner, we can actually enjoy ourselves a little bit more. We can get slightly more calorific foods and we will still be on track. And this is all made nice and clear and simple through tracking what we're eating. That's the sweet spot between enjoying yourself and staying consistent. So to recap, you don't need to be perfect when traveling. You just need a simple structure to follow. Think sleep, movement, simple meals, and hydration. That is enough to keep your progress intact so that you can come home feeling good, not needing to start over. If you do want a personalized travel-proof plan built around your lifestyle or built around upcoming trips that you do have, there is a link in the description to book a one-to-one call with me. We'll build all of this system together on the call and answer any questions that you do have. Apart from this, I hope you got great value from the episode today. Feel free to drop me a review, let me know what you thought of it, and apart from that, I will catch you in the next one.